It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on the 6th day of July, 2022. Coming to you back from the digs in Forest, Virginia, back home. Got home last night. Actually, about 5:30, I guess. Storm slowed me down a little bit the last hour or so coming in. But anyway, back home. Had a good night's sleep. I was tired, I admit. I slept good last night being back in my bed too, so that's always nice. Today's top story, Princess Prizes launches and the hot air Tom gets up close and personal with a Dolphin. We're going to talk about both this morning here on Travel and Cruise Industry News for the 6th day of July. Today is National Fried Chicken Day, folks. I can dig that. I like chicken. I like fried chicken. If you don't want to go to the trouble of fried chicken, go out to Kentucky Fried Grease or one of those places, Popeyes, Bojangles, or there's all kinds of places you can get fried chicken. I'm a big white meat fan. I'll go have me a nice chicken breast. Yeah, I can dig that. And probably mashed taters and gravy. I can dig that too. Coleslaw. Yeah, I'm all in for that. All right, cruise ship sailing from North American ports today. Up in New York and Manhattan, you got the Carnival Magic. Seattle, you've got the Norwegian Spirit, the New Amsterdam land packages, and the Zuiderdam land packages. Vancouver, we've got the Zuiderdam cruise and land packages, the Grand Princess cruise and land packages, and the Noordam land packages. In Anchorage, the Seven Seas Mariner sails, and you've got land packages for the Majestic Princess, New Amsterdam, Koningsdam, Grand Princess, and Zuiderdam. In Fairbanks, you've got Majestic Princess, New Amsterdam, and Royal Princess, all land packages. And out in Honolulu, Pride of America, land packages get underway today. On the show this morning, just beyond the Princess Prizes launches, Arcadia makes return of the entire P&O fleet. The Star Pisces arrives in India for scrapping. Spirit Air bigger at Newark. Port of Quebec expands. The Vibe Beach Club access change. And a whole lot more here at 11 o'clock this morning. If you're listening via the podcast, welcome aboard. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get podcasts from, like Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Pandora, iHeartRadio, just any of the big ones. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and the big fat travel guy pops up. And anytime that I post pictures or clips, either from my travels or from one of the Chillie Cruises family members that's out on a cruise or travel, there's always a link to the video feed in the description of the podcast, so you can hop over and check out the pictures if you want. All right, before we get to on with today's show, we got to talk about the weather. Hurricane Bonnie has weakened slightly while it's moving west into the open eastern Pacific. The last readings I had, she's about 355 miles south-southwest of Cabo Corrientes, Mexico. Sustained winds are down to 100 miles an hour. She's moving west at 14. Pressure's still pretty low, 971. A west to west northwestern motion is forecast through the week, with a slight decrease in forward speed during the next couple of days. A little change in strength is expected through Thursday. Gradual weakening is forecast to begin on Thursday night and continue through Friday. The one thing to watch, however, folks, is the system behind, which you can see the red arrow there is red, whatever that is Bonnie. Still relatively close to land, so that is affecting surf and waves and so forth, and undertow. But another system's coming right along behind it, at least currently moving right in the same path. This one has a 50% chance of developing over the next 5 days, so we're going to have another one out there to watch in the Pacific. I mean, any slight change in wind can change the direction of this sucker and throw it right into land. So we gotta watch this one close too. But anyway, that's what's going on in the Pacific. Nothing in the Atlantic Basin again today, which of course is a good thing. All right, we talk a lot about Hot Air Tom and some of his crazy excursions. He's been in a cave and jumped off a cliff and done all sorts of things just over in Bermuda this time. So what happened? And folks, this I think I have the facts correct. That maybe I'm not entirely factual, but pretty close. But Hot Air Tom signed up for minuet classes with a Dolphin. At least that's my understanding of what they were doing out there. But here, this is a Hot Air Tom, after he'd been through the early lessons, is doing the minuet with the Dolphin. And Hot Air Tom was very happy about their performance. Look at the grin on his face. He was happy about it. But then Hot Air Tom reaches over and tickles the Dolphin under the chin and says, come on, give little Tom a kiss. And the Dolphin shook his head that's what the Dolphin did, and took off swimming. And that was the end of Hot Air Tom's minuet lesson with the Dolphin. I'll take that to the bank, folks. That's the true story. I'll be back with today's news after a word from one of our network sponsors. All right, the top story today, folks, has to deal with Princess Cruise Line. Princess prizes are now being introduced across the Princess Cruises fleet, offering guests the opportunity to win a whole bunch of stuff, including $100,000 in cash. How about that? The game and end of voyage prize offerings will take place between June 25th, that's last week, there 10 days ago or so, and December 31st of this year. Guests are eligible to win prizes every time they access their stateroom by using the medallion. That's that wearable quarter-sized device that allows contactless boarding, geolocation on the ship, and having anything guests may need delivered directly to them whenever they are on board. Now, one of the coolest things in the world is to order a cocktail and then the bartender chases you all over the ship to get delivered the drink to you. Prizes also include shipboard credits, wine tasting, chef's table dinners, and free cruises for 2 over the next 10 years. Travelers can also enter a draw for at least $5,000 at the end of each cruise, according to Princess Cruises. The Princess Prizes program debuted on Caribbean Princess and was recently added to Majestic Princess and Discovery Princess in Alaska. It will be introduced to an additional 10 ships by the end of July with the following rollout schedule. Grand Princess starts today. Crown Princess, Royal Princess, and Ruby Princess start on the 9th. Regal Princess on the 16th. Emerald Princess on the 20th. Enchanted Princess on the 22nd. Sky Princess on the 23rd. Coral Princess and Island Princess on the 29th. The Princess Prizes program is part of Princess Premier, the line's premium add-on that also offers unlimited Wi-Fi, a beverage package, specialty dining, photos, and a daily crew appreciation. So a pretty neat program that Princess is doing. So take a chance on winning $100 grand just by going in and out of your cabin. Is that going to make people want to do that? Go in and out of their cabin every 5 minutes, so they enter that more often? I'm so sorry, folks. I think weird sometimes. Returning after a 3-month operational pause, Arcadia is welcoming guests in Southampton for a cruise to Iceland, Norway, and Ireland. The 14-night itinerary visits 6 different ports, such as Reykjavik, Akureyri, I can't pronounce it, Allison, and Belfast. The sailing marks the return of all P&O ships in the fleet. Continuing its restart program, the Arcadia is set to offer different itineraries departing from Southampton, with cruises visiting the British Islands, Baltic, and Western Europe. In September, Arcadia is also sailing a special 30-night voyage to the United States and Canada. The round-trip itinerary features visits in New York City, Boston, Halifax, Corner Brook, and Bar Harbor in Maine. After being taken out of service due to COVID back in 2020, Arcadia is returning to guest operations for the second time. The ship previously resumed service in March, offering a few scheduled cruises before entering another operational pause due to crew shortages. She resumed service with improved staffing ratios and is better able to offer guests the luxury cruise experience they expect. When fully staffed, Arcadia is home to 976 crew members, providing service to as many as 2,388 passengers when at full capacity. Congratulations to P&O for now being fully at sea once again. Here's one that's not fully at sea, the Star Pisces, one of the final ships in service for the former Genting Hong Kong Cruise Line's Star Cruises, has arrived in India to be scrapped. The cruise ship is currently anchored off the coast of Alang, one of the largest shipbreaking yards in the world. Star Cruises went out of business when parent company Genting Hong Kong filed for bankruptcy earlier this year, resulting in all ships in the fleet, including Superstar Aquarius, Superstar Gemini, and Star Pisces, being offloaded for scrapping. I still have very negative feelings toward the people at Genting that ran the company into the ground, screwed people out of money. They should be in prison. Spirit Air has won the right to operate more flights at Newark Liberty International Airport. The Miramar, Florida-based ultra-low-cost carrier on Tuesday beat out JetBlue in a long-running competition by the U.S. Department of Transportation for 16 peak-hour runway timings at Newark. A runway timing is similar to a slot, though Newark is considered to be schedule facilitated rather than slot controlled, so the rules are somewhat less stringent. The 16 runway timings, enough for 8 round trips, were vacated by Southwest Airlines when it consolidated its New York area operations to LaGuardia. The next month, Spirit sued the DOT for not reallocating the runway timings to other airlines. Federal officials at the time cited congestion as the reason for why they were not reallocating. Spirit won the lawsuit and has now won the runway timings, a proceeding where it was considered the favorite. Port of Quebec. Have any of you ever sailed to Quebec? I haven't. I was just on a cruise with someone that lives in Quebec, in the province of Quebec. But yeah, this is going to become a thing, folks. The Port of Quebec has expanded, officially inaugurated Terminal 30, providing additional cruise berthing at a multi-purpose facility. The two-story facility covers 101,000 square feet. It has a boarding bridge with a span of 69 feet from the waterline and can accommodate more than 2,500 passengers at once. The first ship is expected to arrive August the 4th, carrying 3,140 passengers and 1,200 crew. During the off-season, Terminal 30 offers storage services for pleasure craft, hosts large-scale events such as the Imagine Monet exhibition, which runs until September 5th. It also recently served as a vaccination center. Congratulations to Quebec. It was a mixed bag of arts and putting the money together between the port people, the city people, the country. I don't know. They put the money together from all sorts of different sources. And they're going to go after the cruise and tourist business in a bigger way. There's always been, a couple cruises that go all the way through, the ones that can fit, through the St. Lawrence Seaway to Quebec. But it's not been really promoted as heavily as it could have been. I think you're going to see some changes on that. You're going to see more ships going to Montreal and to Quebec. Other than right now, Holland America Zaandam is the only one that's going that way as far as I know, except the smaller ships that are going into the Great Lakes. But anyway, I'm impressed with what Quebec is doing. Hot Air Tom say it isn't so. Obtaining access to Norwegian Cruise Line's popular Vibe Beach Club became significantly easier thanks to a change in how passes are distributed. Ever since Norwegian Cruise Line first introduced Vibe Beach Club, the adults-only for-fee area featuring a bar, hot tub, and killer ocean views has been wildly popular with guests, so says Norwegian. That popularity has made it difficult to obtain passes, a limited number of which are sold on any given sail. For the first time since Vibe was introduced, Norwegian is making it possible for guests to buy their Vibe Beach Club passes in advance by either the line's website or travel agent. They're not offering any more passes, folks. They're just making it so you can get them ahead of time. It's important to note that the Vibe Beach Club is not available on all ships in the Norwegian fleet. Currently, the hotspot is available on Bliss, Breakaway, Encore, Escape, Getaway, Joy, and the upcoming Prima. Pricing-wise, the cost will vary depending on the length of the cruise, the ship, and the time of year. For a 7-night voyage in the Caribbean, the Vibe Beach Pass is $209 per person. What? $209 just to get away from the kids and have a pool and a hot tub. Wow. I'm not sure I would spend that much. Of course, you know I'm tight. Not sure I'd spend that much money just for the pass. Say it isn't true, Hot Air Tom. $209 to go swimming and get in a hot tub? Wow. Of course, Hot Air Tom is our Norwegian expert. He books everything Norwegian. I wonder, Tom, have you started speaking Norwegian? Do you and Cindy converse in tongues? Or whatever they speak in Norway. All right, guys. Enough silliness and for me today. Let's go see who's in the chat room. Probably somebody fussing at me for sure. Hot Air's with us. Norwegian Pearl looks like it's about 600 miles east of Cape May. Cindy's here. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Melissa. Melissa's back with us. Miss you already, Melissa. We're going to have to do that again. That was so much fun. Amy's with us. Hi, Amy. Nikki's here. I'm Jacksonville. Hopefully, Nikki, I'm going to get a chance to work on the stuff today, including the Jacksonville video that I made of the bridge. By the way, folks, on a personal note, just within about 15 minutes ago, I got off the phone with the oncologist, and the red letter day is now tomorrow. I start tomorrow morning with the $11,000 prescription. I have to take 4 pills without food. But they said, okay, you can get up and have your coffee. And then since you don't eat usually till, later in the morning, or you can take the pills early as long as you got a couple hours before you get hard food. I said, okay, I'll do that. So tomorrow morning I get up and have my coffee and then take the first of these pills. So we'll have to see on side effects. We'll have to see if I get the hair growing out of my forehead or a horn growing out of my nose, or who knows what kind of side effects might come from this. I also have to take prednisone with 2 meals a day. So I take the 4 pills with no food and then a prednisone pill twice with food. Starting tomorrow. Did you see that NCL updated protocols? I will not need to pre-cruise COVID test for my cruise on the 22nd, still required from U.S. Oh, because of in Europe. Yeah. And no, I did not see that was specifically updated soon. That's awesome. I'll have to look that one up. Katie's with us. Good morning on this beautiful day. I'm off to the beach up there in Martha's Vineyard. Travel with Lizzie Lou's with us. Gretchen War. That's a name I don't know. That apparently is different from our Gretchen. Good morning. Okay. Welcome aboard, Gretchen War. I'm sorry I don't recognize the name, but that's fine. Hot Air Tom says, hot Norwegian news. They announced this morning they're eliminating pre-cruise testing effective 8/1 on select cruises. Okay, that's what Cindy was just saying. Where the country does not involve testing. U.S., Canada, Greece, and Bermuda are not included in this change. Yeah, that's similar to what's happened with other cruise lines that have done that. But it's a step toward normalcy, I guess you'd say it. Thank you, Hot Air Tom, for the update on that and more specifics. Hot Air says, not my liking on this change. Don't want to board a ship with people that are brimming COVID with them. It just seems like a bad decision. Well, that's kind of my feeling too. This last cruise, this was the first time I've been uncomfortable on a cruise ship. Now, admittedly, it it got we were at 100% for the last 3 days and close to it for the 4-dayer. But I was a little uncomfortable with kids that I knew full well hadn't been vaccinated, and with the new variants, and I wasn't as comfortable as I've been. Although I still, I didn't really do anything different, and I got home and I tested once I got home just to make sure for my family's sake, and I was fine. So, but anyway, I was a little more uncomfortable this time, and there could be a lot of causes from that. Obviously, since the last cruise I was on, I've had the change in knowledge of my health situation, and then starting on a new project. So mentally, I was in a different space than I've been on cruises. But not that I didn't enjoy this last cruise. I did. It's the most fun I've had on a cruise in a long time. I spent a lot more time enjoying myself than working on this last cruise with the JJ crew folks. Hot Air says, nice job on the story of my dolphin encounter. Dancing the minuet with a dolphin. I love it. Emily's with us. Hi, Emily. Glad you made it back to Virginia safely. Cruising to Quebec could be cool. I'm liking that. I really am. I've never gone to Montreal either on a cruise ship. So I'm liking going all the way into Quebec. I know there was at least one itinerary that did that that last year. Anyway, it might have been pre-pandemic that they did all the way into Quebec. Because, last summer they weren't sailing in Canada. There used to be an itinerary that went from Boston all the way into Quebec. That's the one I would like to take. Carol says, yay for Canada. Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting story. I thought, like I say, I got to do this. Carol says, hi to everybody. Oh, Mike says, I just realized I'm cruising to Montreal on September 30th. Awesome. Lizzie says, good luck with the pills. Yep. Hopefully you feel well from the Newark. I don't feel bad. I haven't felt anything different than I have forever. It's just the damn numbers went up. It's nothing that I feel fine. I have no additional pains or anything like that. As far as I feel, I would think it was just like it's been for almost a year now since I got over the chemo. Now it took me a while to get that all out of my system, but once I was, I had the chemo out, with the exception of the few side effects that just linger on forever, like my nails, and once I started growing my hair back and all that stuff. I feel the same. Unfortunately, that's just not the same case. Emily says she would not spend $200 after she's already spending for a cruise. I wouldn't either. I wouldn't go for that either. Mike says, I'm visiting Quebec on Ambassador's Ambiance on the 2nd and 3rd October this year. Sweet. That's awesome, Mike. We'll expect pictures and lots of reports. And maybe we can set up a live stream from Quebec or something. That would be cool. Lizzie would rather go on a cruise without kids. Yeah, well, I understand that too. Amy says at least they are not doing away with the vaccination requirement, and NCL had a more stringent requirement than the other cruise lines with no exceptions. Yeah. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. As always, if you're new to this channel, because we do have a whole bunch of new people, we always appreciate the thumbs up. That helps the channel out. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Just hit that little red button down that way. It says subscribe. Just click it. That'll help us out. The bell notification lets you know when I go live or when I post a new video. And I'll be doing a lot more of the posting new videos than live streaming for a while, I'm afraid. Till I see how the side effects are with this new drug. I can't imagine that the new drug will make me feel better. I just hope it stops the advancement of the cancer. That's all I want it to do. Let my numbers get back under 10. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. As always, think about cruising. Stay safe, stay healthy, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. This is the Old Fat Travel Guy. Have a super day. See you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry, so if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, chilly chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.